Hi there, welcome to another presentation of the Globe Sound Healing Conference. Now we have Jan Jorgensen. Hi, Jan.
Hi, David.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Jan is a vibrational visionary educator, empowering people to find their voice for positive change. Her work in media, producing events, and creator of the Queen's Caravan Spiritual Walkabout Tour brings hope, inspiration, and tools to reattune ourselves and communities towards new, sustainable, benevolent initiatives. Developer of Voice Release, she helps people find their authentic voice free of fear. It's at soundandlighthealingarts.com. What have you been up to lately?
Thank you, David. I'm actually here in Hawaii relaxing between my fifth and my sixth tour and redeciding the best way to use my gifts. The next tour, I don't want to jump ahead because I know you're going to ask me a question and I'm going to fill you in with that
Cool.
question on what's next.
Cool. Yeah, the big question is if you had all the money in the world, what would you do to help people on the planet?
Well, David, you and I know very well it's a quantum field, and all we have to do is shift our ideation and become a co-creator and to receive and work with the flow of the universe. And we used to think, oh my God, that's woo-woo. Now we know it's friggin' science. It's quantum field. So I go on these tours in a little red wagon all around the United States, and I sit with women who aren't quite awake to the fact that they are sleeping queens in their own life. They're letting other people hold the rudder to their future, the way they behave, the way they run their world. So I'm going to expand that this coming year. And my huge goal has been for so long as part of this cupola of SOAR, sounding our authentic resonance, is to build an actual home in the 3D where women can come. And just like you and I worked with people when I work there with you so powerfully at Globe, to work with people, specifically women, the voice of the divine feminine, which can be in males or females, but to give them that inner awakening, be the spark plug of, oh my God, there's so much more. And I have layers of toolkits. I've only scratched the surface. So I do this in the circles, but I need a home base. So I'm looking towards money. I already have some helpers for the down payment. So this trajectory is going to give a place for the women I meet in communities, the leaders who are galvanizing and holding that energy, to come through and teach what they know with my community. I'll go in their communities, and we are creating a Lacey-like flower of life, pollination of empowered voices of truth. And I tell women, it doesn't matter what's happening on TV or politics, because when you are expanded, Don Estes can help women with this protocol. When you are in your dominant frequency, the wattage washes over people and they're not triggered. If you have no fear in your voice and you're speaking to someone who could get wrinkled, they're just going to take it in and say, oh, hey, wait a minute, she's right. And so we're going to bring the voice of the divine feminine to the round table of power of the world and how it works, and begin to shift things from the inside out, from our own inside out. That's why I focus on the voice. The voice is just the megaphone for your own consciousness.
Excellent. So much needed. So much needed. I love
We're
it.
a team. We're a team, David.
I love it. Yeah, it's like, especially because men have been squashing the throat chakras of women for tens of thousands of years.
Yes.
And it's rampant now. In other cultures, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But it's still rampant in ours.
We're seeing it playing out louder than life. And I can't believe I was born in the 50s and I still have the same movie playing. So also now that through the feminist movement, now we have many women running the toxic competitive masculine model. So we're going back to the original divine blueprint of cohesive community, where it's not socialistic, but you care about each person. That person can be your mother. That person could be your lover, your son, unconditional love. And we know that that breaks up all the junk. And so that's pretty much, and I hear you talking a lot, unconditional love. All of our work through the vibrational field, we must be leaders. Everyone at this conference, know your soul promised to be this transformational agent. So David and I, we're stepping up. We're here to help you, to empower you in any creative way, in any field, in hospice, in politics, in property management. You can be this coherent, diffuse, illuminative light anywhere, anytime. So,
Cool. Okay, so tell us about your presentation briefly, because I think you talk about it in the presentation too.
I did a little bit. It was fun to pre-record it because I could give it thought. Well, as I mentioned, our voices are our calling card to the world, and we continue to attract the same old things in because we have some unconscious programming going, vibrational contractions, confusion, PTSD. There's a lot of words about it. But the beauty of it is, no matter what it is, we can now look at your voice, we can measure it scientifically, and we can use scientific and vibrational processes to shift anything so that you can become free and be this voice of sanity and healing for yourself and for the world through your voice. That's the modality that I'm going to focus on.
Excellent. Well, let's check it out,
All right.
and we'll talk later.
Thanks again, David. Hello, friends at the Globe Sound Healing Conference. I am very appreciative for David Gibson for asking me to speak. I'm Jan Jorgensen at Sound and Light Healing Arts. And my focus over the last 20 years has become increasingly clear that I am here to help you, the new transformation agents for the planet, with new initiatives to find a way to share the information they're learning that's coming through spirit, through intuition, in a way that lands and engenders trust and leadership and receiving resources. And because you're learning to speak without fear. All of this through a PowerPoint and discussion, peppered with my own private experiences and breakthroughs for people. And then we will have an actual, in the last section, I'll set up my microphones and such, and we will take you through an actual voice release session, which is very powerful one-on-one, but also through the field of intentionality. If you are allowing yourself to bring up what is no longer serving you, we will create the sound stream and the potential and the profound release of anything that is blocking you. So this is what I propose to do. I thank you for joining this session, and let's begin. Here we are at the Globe Sound Healing Conference, November 2024. The topic is your voice of transformation. First, let's gather as the tribe that we are. On the third ring, let's go ahead and say our names together. Jan. Beautiful. Now, why is that important? Because we have just connected and we have activated our cellular memory that we all promised to come here and meet each other and be part of this transformational team through intentional conscious vibration. And here we are. You are one of these little nodes on here, and I am one. And everyone else on this call who's going to see it in the future, it's pre-recorded. We are connecting the dots, so to speak. The earth is inside to bring more information for shifting and bringing more divine light, heaven to earth, for planetary transformation through the voice. So speaking of the voice, I was in my 50s and I was so done with anxiety of speaking up. I mean, since I was little, since I was a professional singer, all through my educational experiences, and I had to fix it. And somehow I knew it was my mission within the problem to fix it. And I had no idea how far back that I would need to go. It is said that man's fall from grace occurred when he began to speak from his mind and not his heart. Did you know that the planet has been in isolation since a group of galactic administrators, perhaps the fallen angels, Lucifer, changed our planetary geometrical profile from an open hexagonal system to dodecahedron, a closed system, closed from our spiritual nature for a long, 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 long time. And right now we need honesty. We don't need manipulative, political and religious, corporate, military realms dominating us for profits and for perception management. We've had enough of it. It is erupting. There is a volcano of truth. So how can we create a new harmonious world? How do we tie that in with what bothered me since I was 3 years old? It's with our voices. So my path helped me understand how to use our voices as bridges for a new future on earth. So it began at home for me as a child, as an empath, and I'm sure that if you're a light worker, you're an empath. I noticed my father was thinking one thing, feeling something so different from what he was saying. So my inquiry my entire life is, why in the world would anyone do that? To protect themselves, for survival, for sustainability. And at the core of that was a fear of being authentic and real. So I was learning about fear from a young age. I didn't understand that it was a vibrational conundrum that we actually even inherit through genetics. They're studying, Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden are showing us through epigenetics that our very DNA and genetic streams are being changed constantly through our ancestors. So we're afraid of things, conundrums that our ancestors were afraid of, and it's unconscious, and it's now part of our genetic makeup, and it's ridiculous because those fears are not present in our reality. People are ashamed of who they are. They just inherit this. They make up false selves. People behave accordingly to what they believe the other wants to hear. And that was me. I became a person to match to whoever I was needing to feel safe with. I'm also a projector in the human design system. Go ahead and look that up, see what it means. And I was also very invisible. And my family was busy with 8 people, not a lot of money. There was no individuation, so I was invisible, and I had no one teaching me the divine principles of empowerment that it took me until my 60s to learn. So all of this became the perfect recipe for me becoming the creator of voice release and understanding how this fear of speaking up affects everything. So my path of this anxiety became my North Star. My pain led me to my answer, and I know what I'm going to tell you. Already know what I'm going to say. Trust your path and your process. It took me 55, 60 years to come to the fix. Why me? Look at this list of all the ways that I worked with people at different settings, understanding fear and the conundrums that have carried us forward. So how can we truly understand the voice? As an integral part of who we are, I often say it's our calling card to the world. It is not just the words, but the energy and the content and our actual consciousness that is broadcast through our voice continuously. Yes, your voice determines your life. What are you creating? And what are you pulling in with your voice? We're going to learn about how our voice conveys our consciousness, how we can track our emotions and tensions through our voice, how important it is for Earth that we align with our truth right now, individually and collectively, how we can remove the unconscious fear blocks through voice release, how we can co-create with Source for miracles using simple vibrational alignment processes, and I've thrown in a lot of basic voice and speaking principles and help. So often people come to these seminars and they've already worked with me. So go ahead and feel free to do screenshots of things that you already know and that, or perhaps you're new to this and I'm moving too quickly. Take a screenshot because I'm bringing everything I have and want to share with you, but we don't need to go into every detail. You can go back and look at your screenshots later. For instance, phonation. I sang professionally for 60 years. I understood the physiological nature. It wasn't until I was in my 50s working with anthroposophical, uncovering the voice magic, that I truly began to understand the etheric, intentional realm of sound healing through the voice. So we're going to mainly focus on the energy of your voice and how the pattern of your voice attracts the same people, experiences over and over. It's the resonance, the frequency, pattern, or profile of your voice. And if you understand this, you can form your voice into a magic wand. I often say your voice is a powerful sword to cut through all the misalignments. Having been a teacher at Globe and well aware of the philosophy there, I will work with scientific facts and graphs, but often I will expand it into universal truths, potentialities, because Globe is about transformational bridges into a new realm. Truly, vibration and using your voice is holding the pearl, the core, the seed of co-creating a new reality on Earth. We can now see sound, the marvelous technologies. This is sound made visible, bouncing around a room. So when you broadcast through your voice, people can hear and see and know in their gut the 44 distinct emotions that your voice expresses. We think that they're looking at our face or believing what we say. No, they're actually hearing and seeing and feeling everything you think about yourself, your entire history, almost like a mask. It's written. So our body sounds our past, our assumptions, our fears, and our divine self all at once. Our body sounds everything. Let's do a simple exercise. Words create realities. We direct our thoughts, and then there's the nuances, the stressing. It's on and on and on. We truly are launching rockets. So do this fun little exercise. Repeat after me. I am. I am not. I am not I. I am not I. I am not I, am I? These simple words create entire limnoscapes of feelings and pictures. So some of the typical fix-its for anxiety about speaking, I said I would share these. Go ahead and take a screenshot because these are yesterday's news. Ta-da. The new law of attraction way is to understand that we are creating new pathways of reality through our voice. And if you're scared, you can practice saying your truth in small, safe ways at first. See how people react. Learn to say no. Learn to say no. Learn to say no, thank you. I'd like to think about that. When you say what you really believe and need to know, what you need in your life, and what you know is a game changer. And you begin to attract people who can hear your truth, deliver what you need, honor you, and listen to you, and your life will change. So we're going to make some big leaps now about the voice of things you've never thought about. You can't just push your voice to change and, try to lower it or get it more in your body. That doesn't, even affirmations are somewhat superficial, but they do help align your thoughts, which is the initiator of the energies in your body. We're talking about shaping the deeper matrix. If your voice is the megaphone of all that you are, you must get to the source of your fears of speaking up. My big leap came when I began singing. I had been a professional singer in San Francisco and Las Vegas. When I decided, my kids were small, that I would become a music practitioner at the bedside of dying patients with no audience to feel. Remember, I was an empath, and I would merge with people, and I would feel all their thoughts about me. Well, when a person's dying, it's different. There's no audience. I wasn't monitoring myself or asking, how am I doing? I let go. I dropped my ego. And the most beautiful, pure tones came through that as a nurse, I watched the person release tension and fear in their body and let go, and I let go. It was magical. And I said, whatever the state of grace is to remove fear from the body and mind of dying, can we remove the fear of living and speaking up? Humans fear more about public speaking than dying. Actually, it's a fact. So I began to study music. Is it visible? Force. The voice can be visible. And we can find the fear of speaking up and dissipate it by using science and spirit together. I learned that we can measure fear or its absence in the body. I often would go get auric images taken in various states of feeling, and here I was bringing in the light, but my body still was having resistance and pushback and triggers, and this caught that picture. So what does a voice look like? We can actually look at it. That's a voice print on the left, and that's the voice bio on the right. We can track it, look at it, and monitor it. Because your voice is the expressive or megaphone part of your entire biofield, it gives information about your health. The voice bio can show us It has a new name now. I think it's voice analysis with David O'Clobe. Has 26 parameters that show the level of imbalance in the body, even before the body physically has disease. It shows the effects of habits, emotions, and it also gives strong information about assumptions and expectations within your life profile. It is not just your voice. There you go. Voice bio. Amazing. You can also rebalance your body by toning the lower notes, the ones you don't have enough frequency in your body. You can diagnose your whole system through the voice profile, and you can heal yourself again by toning these low notes. It's a tricyclic relationship. For instance, tone the note of C and it lowers the F sharp. It's a graph. It's very easy. And this is the philosophy behind it. Energy put into one area of our lives causes a shift that automatically expands the other parts. So if you are fearful, you are depleted in your C note, your thyroid, your immune system. You will attract a person in with a low F sharp who will siphon off your high F sharp. So you are in a cycle of codependent relationship attractions. Out of 100 potential suitors, clients, connections, you're attracted to the person who has the notes that you're missing. It's a codependent relationship. Women in shelters have an up bell curve that fits their abuser's concave frequency profile. Healers and therapists and teachers readjust their profiles to meet the needs of their clients. How exhausting is that? So our voice is broadcasting out who we are all the time. So if we have fear in our voice, we are triggering others in their patterns. We make others feel unsafe, doubt us, or target us. We become someone they can manipulate. We initiate instinctual primal patterns that include cut it or kill it. The feminine has been proven to have historical societal patterns of repression and self-regulation, to be hesitant to speak up across the board in the bedroom and the boardroom. When I say feminine, it's both genders. When I say feminine, it's about inclusivity, co-creation, fairness, and kindness, as opposed to the toxic masculine control and domination. So our voice has actual form that influences others. Enter cymatics, the Hans Jenny work. John Reed, if it can conceptualized, and Eric Larson made the cymoscope. So here we have sound patterns initiated on the bottom that are similar to a turtle. It has been hypothesized that the great Elohim, the angelic beings that began Earth's material creations, heard the visions, heard the sounds from our Creator in the visions, and sounded this reality into being. Sounding reality into being. And here we have the cymoscope in action. There's Eric Larson. This is one of my first centers. This is my voice print. Look at the diaphanous transparency after years of uncovering the voice pure tone work, as opposed to my dear friend Claire's rooted tree trunk shamanic healer's voice print, very grounded, solid, mezzo, rock and roll voice. And here I did a concert that showed in real time the colors emanating onto a screen from my voice. So the most important thing about understanding the voice is that intention is the underlying stream and is everything. It's a subconscious energy that guides those colors moving around and streams. It's the intention. Be clear, be in integrity. Use your thoughts to guide, the initial stages of the neurochemistry and the light emanating from your body. But this still doesn't get to the underlying old unconscious fear stuff. We're going to get to that. Beautiful cymatics voice print. I find them so entrancing. So people are actually hearing your intention more than the words. Words are only 10% of your message. So if you want to be believed, trusted, accepted, and listened to, if you want to lead, if you want, again, as a light worker, your mission and your message to land, you must have vocal coherency. This is Don Estes' work. I love how it just shows everything lining up, focus, bullseye. So he developed the portico. The portico shows the consciousness, your consciousness, as a pattern through your voice. It provides information about your relationship to yourself, your inner circle world of those close to you, your sense of yourself in the bigger world. I ran this program with Veronica Box for 6 months in Marin and learned about the beauty and the power of the voice and how people were creating miscreations based on not being in their dominant frequency, helping people get in their 100% frequency by showing them percentage-wise their emotions, physical and mental bodies, how they align with the words that they are using. Because this is what people feel and sense and respond to when you communicate: alignment or misalignment. This is the portico. The bigger the open space in the middle, the more free you are from fears and constraints. The consciousness of your voice. There's the chart on the bottom, which shows the percentages. It's just the most amazing, beautiful thing. And images come out, etheric images, imaginal images, so unbelievably, and they're moving in real time. This is just a photograph, but they actually undulate and move. So then the portico has a biofeedback rebalancing mechanism. You put the headphones on, you can replay missing or lower frequencies back into your brain. And this is done very gently over a period of time as a repatterning, reattuning therapy. So now in this talk, I've given you 2 ways to release trauma from your body that then will be expressed through your voice, toning based on the voice biosystem and the portico biofeedback system. So shifting into a new reality is possible with intentional toning. Ta-da! Recognize this guy. This is David Gibson and I on a globe trip to Egypt. We made the intention to go into a very high vibrational state. Took us about 20-25 minutes of intentional toning. And we initiated an expanded, enlightened state that lasted for about 6 hours of extreme bliss and light. Because we had created the memory in ourselves of that rarefied high vibrational field, this last May on my Queen's Caravan, David and I, through 5 minutes, reinitiated that beautiful, beautiful state of pure light, co-creation. Look at that look on David's face. And we did it in 5 minutes. And our intention was to heal the masculine and feminine energies on the planet. Ta-da! This stuff really works. Lifting reality through our voice. So how can you heal yourself or others with your voice? I'm going to have you take a screenshot of this. We're not going to talk about all these wonderful ways, but they're important. I want to get to voice release. Go ahead. Take a screenshot. Take another screenshot. Using your voice to readjust some specific vibrational pattern. This is sound healing. When I have done sound healing, I merge with the person and spirit tells me what tone, and through 30 years of anthroposophical pure tone singing, I deliver it like a scalpel. And these are some of the principles that I've used and taught for vocal sound healing. Take a screenshot. Okay. At Unity Church and the Magdalene events there, we would have people walk through the gates of heaven at the end, and indeed people would reach enlightened, beautiful, ecstatic states. This is beautiful Celestine Star, who's passed over, who was a beautiful priestess, now in the light, working with the realms powerfully. So essentially, your voice can bring heaven to earth. Not any one of us feels really safe and really at home here on this earth since we were born, because we came from heaven, which was perfect. So we all suffer from this, a deep, wistful, nostalgic sense of longing for home. And your voice can be that path to bring earth and her people as a leader with the voice of truth through your heart, mitigated through all of your body grid. So here's an important tool, and don't worry, I have a lot of YouTubes. If you go to my YouTube channel, it's called Jan Jorgensen, Be the Light and Soar, S-O-A-R, which means sounding our authentic resonance. You can practice and learn the 3-point process that commands reality formula with your voice. Ask and intend to set a sacred space. We call in our spirit family, we make an intention, and we run these frequencies through our body. I'm introducing this to you because in a few minutes, I'm going to take you through voice release, and you're going to remember this, and you're going to take a screenshot right now so you have this all the time. Let's take a breath from all the mental factoids, and let's ground this in with this card, which is from my created in 2023 through Spirit, Be the Light, Divine Alchemy card deck. This is the communication card, and Spirit said, when people make the intention and say these words, it shall be true. Let's say it together. I take full responsibility for all I communicate. I connect with Source to guide my words, actions, and presence, to hold a sacred vibration. When I communicate, it has value, purpose, and goodness within it. When I communicate, it has a lifting, purposeful intention that is felt by all. Take a nice deep breath through the nose and out through the mouth. Take a screenshot and let's say the affirmation together. My words emanate from my aligned soul, heart, and mind, guided by Source. Beautiful. So we can shift things that are ready to be shifted. Spirit tells us is our mission, our message. We can use affirmations, chants, and mantras. Mankind is always searching for cures, and I believe the cure is within us to bring new light, new energies, and to just bring it around the world. Look at this. We can actually see the music coming off of this lyre in a rarefied, beautiful cave in southern France where it says Mary Magdalene resided off and on. We now understand that there are specific frequencies within our own spine. Our bodies are harps to be played with the cosmic frequencies of light. Take a screenshot. I'm moving along here. Prayer and sound change matter. This is, I believe, Fabian Mamon's work. Sounding with prayer, the cotton. Look at that. The hemoglobin. The instrument is the voice, the role of music in the 21st century. Beautiful, an experiment, duration of 12 minutes. We know about Dr. Emoto's work. It is the artist, it is you. Rudolf Steiner said in the years of the 2000s that would raise their sights in the artistic zone and realms to bring a new vibration that would mitigate and reverse the AI soulless trajectory of technology and manipulation and control that could potentially take the planet in the wrong direction. So it's you, my friends, sticking your head out of the consensus reality and using your intuition, coming together with your tribe, that is us, and listening as we spiritualize matter. We bring heaven to earth. I made an intention before this auric imaging occurred. Watch the frequencies emanating from my voice as pure gold. We are bringing light to earth. In the future, we won't imagine to ever lie. And we know that vibrating at the highest frequency possible is our goal, to bring the light to earth. Lynn Augstein's beautiful interpretations of bringing light for happiness in communities and people bringing. So you must be that courageous one to speak up. Life will keep bringing you the same test over and over again until you change your voice. So it takes courage. Take screenshots because I am moving quickly here. Healing with the voice. Take a screenshot. Some more advanced concepts. Take another screenshot because we're moving straight towards voice release now. But I want you to have this information available. Take a screenshot. Fear cannot exist in a field of pure love. These are ways to make your voice more harmonious. Take a screenshot. I promise there'll be practical 3D ideas. All right. It's from Vocal Leadership, Arthur Joseph. Take a screenshot. We are moving on. The idea is to become a master of our biofield, therefore our voice, full command, mastery. Be authentic authority. And change the word Western women to Western feminine energy. Authentic authority. Go ahead, feel free to use this information, screenshot, moving on. It's how Jesus and other saints commanded reality. Focus and intention when speaking. Here's a simple summary. I'm going to ask you to take a screenshot. Core sacred seed syllables through many epochs have gained lots of energy, just like light language, to recreate reality. Screenshots. Take the screenshot the minute you come on. Okay, on these particular slides here. Here, how can we use our voice in today's society? These are all the ways I see you playing crystal bowls at the bedside, shamanic healing, use the voice bio to bring light to earth, to bring heaven to earth. That's our goal. One day I said, well, wait a minute, if I can recreate realities, can I sound chocolate into being? I'm getting close. All right. So with all this information, validating the problem, the mechanics, how can we fix it? I prayed for about 3 years, and the answer came with an archangel. And the archangel showed me how to release the trauma patterns from our body. Voice release. I did a 3-year dissertation, PhD level, and learned to write down and come up with the data that you can release fear from the body. 83% improvement in speaking up without fear. 16% report of tremendous relief. Less physical anxiety symptoms. All you have to do is email me, and I will send you my dissertation to read and use. I'm going to go through these quickly, but I know many of you are searching for more academically proven tools, and this now has gone through the rigors of the theoretical framework, graphing. But you're asking, well, what does that mean to me and how I can do it? These are some of the things that people said. I can now talk without fear. Voice release can potentially be in educational programs, training programs. If you'd like to learn more, you can always let me know, and we can work and see how you can do it for yourself or for others. And I want to thank Kimberly Maroney for encouraging me to bring the voice release into the world in this way, helping people get higher degrees with light worker modalities. I took this, How to Release Fear, and created the Queen's Caravan Spiritual Walkabout Tour. I'm on my 5th tour. I go to communities all around the United States and do voice release with people. So today, you are on the Queen's Caravan Spiritual Walkabout Tour through the globe, and I'm going to tell you how voice release works, and then we're going to do it together. This is the meat of it. Take a screenshot. There are 5 steps. Take a deep breath, do the Be the Light process, set a sacred space. Let go. Make your intention to feel into the trauma body memory. Talk about the memory. Feel it when you felt anxious to speak up. Maybe it was yesterday. Maybe it's when you were 3. Maybe it was all of it together because it's the same thread. Then I, as a facilitator, will match that tone. Absolutely. Radar. Get right in and match it, and then phase shift it and release it. We release the trauma trigger. And then I ask and intend, call and response to have the person themselves state, I ask and intend to release the anguish, the shock. Spirit guides me in the words to help this person claim it and release it, and we sound it out on vowels, on sounds. It is tremendous. And anyone in that room, if I'm doing a group, anyone in that room will release it through sympathetic resonance, overbearing mother, narcissistic partner. Everybody heals. It is phenomenal. We have repatterned it. This is how it looks, one little snippet in a group setting, a voice release. So think about the ways your childhood insults, traumas have shaped your avoidances, resistance, and fears. This is the underlying root of your repeated patterns. Now, you don't need me to do it, because in a minute, I'm going to take you through it. You're going to do it on yourself. And you're going to follow these simple steps that are also included in the YouTubes that I told you about in my playlist for voice release, okay? We're going to free your voice. We're going to free your life. So here we go. It is time for some voice release. Take a breath, take a little stretch. Hi there. We're going to slowly but gently move into some voice release now. I've got my special sound system all set up. So let's go through that simple Be the Light procedure that I shared with you on the PowerPoint slide. That'll help us drop in and prepare for this and to move through the process most powerfully and efficiently. Take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. Let your exhale be nice and slow. Take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. And one last time. Through the nose and out through your mouth. We begin to still our thoughts and soften our thinking. And we are very gently moving into a question. What makes us hesitate to be authentic? All you have to do is think back to a time when you felt afraid to speak up. If you can go back through your timeline and remember when you were 3 or 4 or 10 or 20, when you just felt it was better not to speak up because you knew it wouldn't be safe. That is a vibration, and that set up a root within you that grew into a tree that is now moving into different parts of your life, your relationships, your work, and still holds that resonance of not quite feeling safe to be powerful, to speak your truth, to ask for something, to say no. So we're going to feel into that feeling, which makes it come alive. Breathe into it. Let it begin to percolate as a vibrational conundrum that it is, that does not match who you are today as a divine messenger and transitional agent for this planet. You're ready to let go of it. So let's begin and continue the Be the Light meditation steps of preparation. We ask and intend to set a sacred space. Imagine you are placing yourself in an octahedron, a beautiful geometric structure. And this holds you so that you feel infinitely safe and protected, and you are completely in charge of this space. Take another breath and imagine that all of your thoughts are leaving, everybody else's thoughts about you, attachments and shoulds and agendas, and you are feeling more spacious and empty. We call in your spirit family to surround us now. And we make our intention. We make an intention that this feeling within us, where we are feeling not safe in our timeline to speak our truth, we ask that that become alive and palpable within us now. We ask and intend that we focus on this feeling, we befriend it, we sound it, and then we resound it with an intention for it to be released dissolved and desist within our energy field now. So as you are feeling into this moving energy, let's begin just to hum and give it a little love. Imagine that you are appreciating how this energy sought to keep you safe and to hold you in a certain time in your timeline that no longer works for you now. So now you are the adult and you are humming, keep humming, and you are breathing wisdom, love, allowance, whatever it took for you to feel safe, whatever it was, to contract, to stop talking, to sweat, to faint, to have a panic attack. That was your body protecting you then. But that was then. And we are now going to go with a nice deep breath through the nose and out through the mouth. And we're going to begin to move it out of our gut, out of our solar plexus with an ah. Imagine that you're plunging all the way from the bottom and it's beginning to move. The density, the particles are beginning to bubble up, and that you're filling it full of this nice breath, which is like a fresh liquid to loosen it up. Here we go again. Deep breath. Up and out, and this time we are moving it past our larynx. And as we are moving it past our throat, we're noticing that that shut down area, that hourglass, is opening it up. It's welcoming it. It's happy that it is expanding to regurgitate this old limiting, contracting energy. And here we go, the third time. Deep breath through the nose and bring it up. And let's stick out our tongues, especially all of you good girls who felt like you had to not only sound nice, but you had to always look nice. Let's see your tongues. Let's see your collie face. Let's do that again, and let's tap with permission around the back of your neck and your shoulders and your cheekbones. Letting it out, letting that truth out. Deep breath. Collie. And rest. When we move vibration, it is after the action that the healing occurs. The movement, the stretching, the making for new space, for new things. So this removing this fear is usually armors us across our chest, and it keeps us from feeling. We dampen down our own feelings and we block feeling for other people, and it creates like a barrier of vulnerable, fresh, present emotions in human relationship. So on this one, we're going to use the Ah, which is Venus, it is Aphrodite, and it is opening with this beautiful green gates. Ah. That was the outer gate of your armoring and keeping your own feelings at bay of shame, guilt, embarrassment, guilt for playing it small yet again, confusion for why we have these feelings, which are usually unconscious. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's take another deep breath and let's go for another film of holding back our emotions. Let's go. Deep breath. And now, our dear, beautiful, sacred heart is present, shining, and let's let it open now. Let's feel safe enough for it to open on this last gentle, tender, heartfelt ah. Deep breath. Beautiful. These exercises are not just mental. Feel them. Feel the buzzing. Feel the openness. Feel the shifts and changes. And now we will use our voice to track these changes. Repeat after me. I ask and intend. I ask and intend to remove the anguish. To remove the anguish that I have felt when speaking my truth. I remove the fear, the sadness, and the confusion that I felt as a child when I didn't feel safe to speak my truth. I am tired of feeling this way. I choose to remove this vibration from my conscious and my unconscious cellular memory. I remove it from my spine, my lungs, my chest, my neck, and my eyes. I am choosing to profoundly and permanently release this fear and hesitation that has held me back from speaking my truth for so long. Deep breath through the nose and then a nice big open O. Now, if you had some coughing, it's excellent. Let that hairball out of your system, out of your throat. Take another deep breath and let's do a nice big O, spacious, orange color, the planet Jupiter. Deep breath. Beautiful, beautiful. With all this new spaciousness, we will bring in something new in a moment. But first, if there's any place within your larynx and your throat where there is still tension, we're going to use the E sound to cut through it. Sing the E sound on any note that feels comfortable for you. Take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. Excellent. Could you feel it buzzing all through your mouth and your neck? It has a nice cleansing removal effect, Mr. Clean. Take a deep breath and let's do an E again. Oh boy. Okay, I must have built up some resistance in there to speaking my truth. All right, let's do a nice ooh and focus on our third eye. For truly, we are clearing out from the bottom up. So let's bring some light and energy in here. But first, let's make our intention together. Repeat after me. I ask and intend to bring in a new vibration that holds safety, that holds freedom and a confidence and safety and actually a sense of peace to show up as I am, sharing how I feel and my truth. I am choosing to share my truth and feel calm and safe and protected. And so it is. And now let's make that part of our matrix right here. Beautiful. It's like polishing our little antenna. And speaking of antenna, let's imagine that our crown chakra is now opening, and we ask and intend that the Creator who's been listening is giving us the final rinse, essence, and polish to complete this voice release in ways that we don't even understand, with the beautiful creation of frequencies that is living. It is living light, healing therapy for realigning and reattuning your body to be a tuning fork of truth and light, and a voice that institutes hope and inspiration and a sense for others that it is safe to tell the truth. Because if one pulls back the curtain and tells the truth, everyone else says, oh my God, I guess it's okay to say that. You will be that bell of truth. The one who pulls the curtains back but says it with no fear and no pushback, so it can land in human hearts and minds and be seeds for new realities. And you know you were built for this. And this process we just went through with voice release in just a couple of minutes. Imagine if you did it every day for 10 minutes. Take a deep breath and know that hourglass that has kept you separated from your full quotient of light at your throat, your crown chakra, we have just opened it. And now you can avail yourself of this beautiful, thick, vibrating ball of pure light that the Creator has sent down because we asked for it. We ask and intend to have a vibrational bath to assist us to assimilate, reorient, and recalibrate now. So let these energies of Source shimmy down through your head, behind your eyes so that you may see clearer, your ears so you may commune with Source with clarity, deliberately, and to hear the next best step, and to hear the words the guiding words for you and the guiding words of truth for other people at the appropriate time. And let this energy come down to your tongue and your throat, completely rewiring and reweaving your neurological system from the brain stem down. I am safe. Speaking my truth is powerful. Speaking my truth is like a sword to cut through the nonsense. Speaking my truth is a balm to help people remember what it's like to live in safety and love. Breathe this into your heart now, and let your heart begin to pulse with this beautiful light, love, goodness, all held by a source, that you are now woven into the fabric of truth, beauty, light, and love with a baton, a magic wand, your voice, to express it all through your voice, all these principles of divinity. Take a deep breath and notice your solar plexus is soft. Guess what? You can use your voice for new, creative, co-created outcomes that weren't possible before when you held back. When you sit at the table of power and say, well, I have an idea. Or how about this? I love your idea. How would this work with that? And you will be a leader, a confident leader in your own life, and a magnet for others seeking solace and some sort of sanity in this world. And in this way, you'll be living your mission and delivering your message so powerfully in every moment. You'll be planting seeds, and then your countenance of radiating this light, and your voice holding that tone, holding that warm blanket of it's safe for everyone to say their truth. You are watering the seeds for a new garden on earth, a garden of Eden of kindness, where you can be transparent. You don't have to defend yourself. And those who are doing dastardly deeds, you can gently say, oh, I'm noticing this. Allow other people to pull back the curtains and see what is light, and let there be light by your presence, by your shining presence. So let this go into your legs, your limbs, your feet, and let it go down and connect into the beautiful light grid of Mother Earth that communicates with, guess what? You, all the light workers, all the beings, all those little nodes of light I showed you earlier, that awakening. And this is your family, your team, your co-creative family. It's not like a business or a corporation. It's way beyond that. When we enter these high vibrational realms, we think abundance. We think rejuvenation. We regenerate and create as we think, and then our magic tool of our voice broadcasts the magic wand. So this was just one tiny little snippet of voice release. When I do voice release one-on-one or with a live group, we will feel into exact conundrums, and Spirit will tell you or me or the person who is facilitating the movement to think of a vowel sound and a tone and just sing it right into that person until you feel there's a shift. But you're advanced because I really felt you shifting and moving that energy with me powerfully right now. It's real. You can do this yourself. I'll go through the steps here very quickly. You always take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. We ask and intend to set a sacred space. We separate our energy field from everything else, just us. And we think of something in our timeline that we would like to shift. And in this case, we shift being anxious about speaking up or authentic or speaking our truth. And you just feel into that and you think, what sound is that asking for to let go? And when you match the originally ouchie, it truly is the feeling of something that has stayed hidden that now can come out in the open and say, I'm done, I give, I'm ready to let go. It's really a wonderful, joyous, celebratory, releasing experience. It's cathartic. So that is voice release. You can just do it on your own. And there are YouTubes that you can watch that'll be listed with everything, and you can practice it, and you can make your own intention, even, not the voice. So thank you again for joining me. This has been my honor to be here and share it with this sophisticated community of people mastering sound and consciousness. Thank you. Blessings on your life, and may you be free. Wrap up our work here with one of the Be the Light Divine Alchemy cards. It's called Finding Your Voice of Light. Let's say the affirmation together in our body and create it as we speak. My voice is the magic wand in all realities. So thank you for joining me for this sacred time together. Listen up about the Divine Time circles that are available to you as a special offer to understand more of the science and spirit philosophy that works within this realm in a 3-hour video presentation form. Blessed be on all of us. The light is coming in.
Well, that was fun. Couple of little things. First of all, the Don Estes sold the portico.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's the nature of life, to move on to some new things. But I have to tell you, it was so confirming for what my intuition was telling me. So it was such a wonderful program.
Cool, cool. So one other thing that's interesting that I've been thinking about this a lot. It's kind of funny when you were showing the voice. It's called voice analysis harmony now, which by the way, and when you showed the print, you said that people that are in a relationship commonly are the opposites, and you called that codependent. And I often call it codependent in my class. I'll say, oh, they're codependent. But on the other hand, maybe it's okay that we support the parts of that person that is not that strong.
It's the nature of life to find what you need, to find what you're missing. And then once you're full, maybe that partner doesn't look so great anymore. The guy who makes these programs, what was his name? He did the voice program, not the voice analysis. He said he went through 5 partners. So it's almost like choosing the best diet for yourself. And so codependent means you cooperating with each other to be dependent, to soak up the notes, the energy, until you hold them powerfully yourself by new intentional choices.
I love that.
There you go.
That's sweet. I like that. Yeah, nice balance. Okay. Now you said that when it comes to working with an intention, your words are only 10%, right?
Yeah.
Now I've got I'm almost done with my book on sound loving relationships. And I mapped out a lot of different energies that come across in a communication. And I
Absolutely.
wanted to share it with you and see what you thought because it's kind of fun.
Love
Okay.
it.
So, first of all, the number one thing that people perceive but rarely talk about is your intention behind why you're communicating something, right? I mean, sometimes, and it varies from trying to get something, and the other person knows it. They know you're trying to get something. It's obvious, right? Almost every time, or you're trying to help that person. So
Right.
there's a big dichotomy, right? Right,
Right.
and so that's really important, and people rarely talk about it. It's like it's this hidden communication, this intention of why you're saying what you're saying.
You're right, it's hidden, but the receiver of the message feels it in their gut, and they
So
will go through their reticular activating system and say, energy like mother, safe, my well being, versus energy like my father, control, dominate, I'm triggered. Most people are in their response, and they are not calm and free enough for that information to come through and to sense the underlying intention until you're 70 years old like me, and you've been burned enough and pissed off enough and used enough and betrayed. That person doesn't have to open their mouth, and I see the encodement. How can I use
right,
Jan?
right.
Or
Well,
how
okay.
can I give her love? That's
I
why the
love that.
words are only 5%.
I love that. Well, there's also there's three or four more levels that are interesting. One is the energy that comes across, and that you can't always trust because the intention is the real deal, right? Because someone can be totally sweet or even not sweet and have a good intention. They could be sweet and have a bad intention,
Yeah.
or not sweet and actually have a good intention behind it of
That's
trying to resolve
absolutely
things.
right. And that's why this theater of human volition and will and intention keeps us all in this dance. When we first came and we were pure beings, and I know you and I were here, that's where we can have these conversations. We were sitting ducks because we did not understand the signatures of dominating forces. That's how Atlantis fell. We were just like, oh, this person presenting is called love bombing, narcissism. So it takes a while to see the patterns, the mutations of vibrations, to see it coming in and know how to deal with it and keep your own sanity and base. And it comes from observation. So children learn from their parents. I was 4 years old and I said, my father is thinking one thing, but actually feeling another thing. That's the fall from grace,
Right.
right there. You can't trust even your own family.
Now, there's two other levels that are really prominent in there. One is the negative beliefs about yourself,
Yes.
which the other person knows really well. I
Yeah.
know exactly how bad you feel about yourself. I
Yeah.
know exactly where you think you're not good enough. I know exactly.
That's right.
Right?
And that's that part that you don't even have to be vulnerable. For instance, people who put up a shield, that feeling of yourself still comes through with your voice. It is in there. It's a holographic, and it wafts over, and the person says, I could really poke at this person's deeper parts, and they're just pretending they're strong and they're in control. So that's why I say with our voices, the words only mean so much because
Yeah.
the communication levels, as you're saying, can be manipulated.
Yeah.
So
The other important part, though, is to not discount the words because the message is
correct,
really critical.
correct.
There's one other besides what you think about yourself, and that's the beliefs you have about that other person,
Yeah.
the boxes you put them into, and that's the worst of all.
That
That's
changes everything. That is
yeah.
external. It's working with an external. In other words, if I think you have more power than me, that changes my neurological holding of this space of like, I have to defer to this person, I have to be smaller. This is how we played this game of smaller, less than, shame, jealousy, all the mutations of the block, the unconditional love and allowance of just beingness.
I've got one thing of four different possibilities for reaction to criticism. You're gonna love.
Okay.
Okay, the first is, yeah, you're right. Maybe I'll let me work on that. And might you even help me? I know it's not your job. The second is, I've checked that out and I don't think that's true for me. Or the third is, I hadn't thought about that one. Let me think about it and get back to you.
Yes.
And the fourth is the most common, F you do that too.
These are all levels that show me how empowered a person feels in setting boundaries and how safe they feel with the person that they are presenting with. With an abusive husband, you'd say, oh, well, let me think about that. With someone who you finally felt like, I have the power, I have the right, you'd say, that was abusive. Fuck you, I'm leaving the room. So you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. And that's how, by people's language, they show their level of empowerment. Now, another thing I want to say, Rudolf Steiner, the anthroposophist who works so powerfully with spirituality and consciousness, when I say words, I'm talking about what you're talking about. People use words to pretend, come across a certain way, or protect, or manipulate, or to share love, hopefully. But Rudolf Steiner said, if your consciousness is aligned, and if you have spiritualized yourself, the matter of yourself, your words themselves are consonants and vowels that enlighten and lift because of the full coherent wholeness of your being as a person communicating cosmic truth. The vowels are the planetary essence, and the consonants are the, what do you call them, Aries and all those astronomical names for things. So the structure of the stars. So what he said, your words become can openers to open up new cans of whole new worlds.
Okay, so I got
I love that.
the trickiest question of all. How do you set boundaries and speak your truth without hurting other people? Because a lot of people are really sensitive, right?
Yeah.
And it's tricky. It's really tricky because sometimes you could say things exactly purely, and the other person, because of their stuff, will take it as something else, right? But or you say something that really could easily trigger them
Yes.
by speaking your truth, and they're a puddle on the floor.
First, discernment. And again, after being a mother, a teacher, blah, 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 I can feel into a person's energy field and sense of safety. Then I have to be in a safe space to say it. And I must remove all fear. And at that point, it's not my responsibility or how they receive it, because people have told me, Jan, you told me that I would meet my angels and they'd take me and show me where I'm from, and I thought you were nuts. But there's certain zones that we go into. Randy taught me this. When you're in a certain zone, you just let it come through your voice. You just let it come through. And I trust that voice coming through me, that that person's higher self has contracted to hear that truth. And if I have no agenda to be smarter, to be right, to compete, to win, to get more money, to have, in other words, let go and let spirit speak through you. And sometimes I am so surprised what comes out of my mouth. And they give me words I've never heard before. And that's really funny when I'm leading meditations. But if you are a transitional person, empath here, you will learn to trust that what is coming through is what that person needs. If you have done the removal of fear and all the different triggers out of your own body. So it is a path. And that's why coming to the convention in this way, you can learn tools to keep healing your own conscious triggers and all the things that make your voice not safe and not trustworthy. Do you get what I'm saying? Like some
Perfect.
people can just say something and it lands. And you think, I never thought about that. It sounds crazy, but you know what? I'm going to consider it because the way it felt in my body.
Nice. Nice. Okay. So there's something we do magically together, and that's toning. So let's do it. And what intention or what energy would you like to resonate with it?
Well, it all starts within ourselves. So let's ask and intend that this toning that light of warmth to just burn off for everyone listening of any sense of who am I or when or how, and just bring in a new sense of allowance for their divinity to drop in their body fully.
Perfect.
Okay,
Okay.
you start.
Okay.
Feel the sparkles, feel the sparkles. I feel my heart opening. We've still got it.
Cool. Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you, David. It's just gets better and better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Blessings. Love you. Bye bye.
Much love.